You got through one. What's the feeling like after one in the pro ranks?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, but it's only one series. It was, special the way we did it, and I think that it's a kudos to our group, but we're far from over. We know that the challenge coming up is it's going to be even bigger, and Grand Rapids are going to be ready, prepared, and they're a good hockey team. So we're focused on them now and then winning that second round.
They were trying to shake it up in Game 5. Speaking of Texas, they put a goaltender who hadn't played that much, just out of college, put him in, and you guys took advantage of that. This is nothing against him, but did you guys have your eyes open and say, boy, we can really step on him here?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was maybe going to be a little different. He was coming in. We knew that they wanted to maybe just shake things up. It's it could have went either way. He could have walked in there, been a savior, and we got a couple good bounces, and maybe he was a little cold, but who knows? That's we were focused on ourselves and whatever we could have done to score goals, and whether it was either guy in nets, it wouldn't have changed that.
You guys had the must-win in Game 3. You had the must-win in Game 4, and obviously Game 5, both teams have the must-win. Getting through Game 3, getting through Game 4, the confidence must be sky high.
Yeah, it was huge. We knew, coming back at home, down 2, now it's do or die for the, next 3 games for the rest of our season. So it was just making sure we took it one game at a time, and I think we can feel that energy in our group after that first win that we got this. It's there's no way we're losing these next 2 games where we thought we were the better team from the start and maybe just had a couple unlucky bounces in Texas, but I think we definitely came out and played our best hockey.
Is it too much to have that do or die attitude at the beginning of Game 1 of a 5-game series? Can you maintain that, or is that too much to ask for all 5 games of a series?
Yeah, you definitely always want to have that mindset, I think. But at the end of the day, you don't get that feeling until you're really in the moment. So I think once Game 3 came around and we had that do or die kind of nerve set in, that feeling, it's good to have, and it's good that we were able to go through that for 3 games, because I think now going into Game 1 we know what we did wrong last time, and we don't want to repeat that. So obviously we want to set ourselves up for success, maybe a little easier this time, but you never know what's going to happen. So it's one game at a time.
For your mentality, did it change at all once you got to the playoffs? Like, did something switch and say this is a different time of year, this is a more special time of year, or has it kind of been the same for you?
I think it's been the same. I think when you go through the season, it's such a long season. There's a lot of ups and downs. Games, yeah, they mean a lot, but they don't mean the same as every single playoff game. When you're in a 5-game series, every game is so important. You got to be so much dialed in, so much more focused. It's there's really no room for mistake, because one single little mistake could cost you the whole series and your season. So I feel like there's a lot more of a learning curve going through the season, and I think once you hit those playoff time, it's do or die. It's time to show your colors. It's time to step up and be the best player you can, because you play all year for these moments. You don't play all year to go home in the summer and not have any playoff games. So it's just getting ready for that moment, and I think we were.
Play all year for this. You played 72 regular season games to get to this point, but you can't. Those aren't just throwaways, right? Like you said, there might be moments and all of that, and it doesn't mean as much, but it does mean a lot. And I keep going back to that 19-game winning streak, the lessons you guys learned, because you had to fight through a lot of stuff. Again, it wasn't all 8-0, 7-1 games. There was tight games that you had to work through and had to find something from within to go out and get the W.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good league. Like, there's a lot of good players and good teams, and the way the coaches are preparing, everybody wants to get better, and everybody wants everybody to do their best. So when you're going into every game, it's you're expecting the best from your opponent, and I think for us to show that we had the composure to go through those 19 games. How some games were down a couple goals. How do we come back and win those games? Or when it went to overtime, shootout. Just how to manage all those situations. And I think that just makes us be able to grow as a team. And especially being maybe a younger team, I think it just gelled us together in a way that you can't really recreate. So I feel like when these playoffs started and maybe we went down those 2 games, there was never a sense of panic or can we do this? It was always just focus on ourselves, focus on what we can control, because we know we're the better team at the end of the day, and that was going to show. So we were happy to get through that, and I think all those little moments throughout the year definitely had a big impact.
You may have alluded to this a moment ago, and this will be one of the last ones here, but this is a more traditional series, right? You don't start with 2 on the road and 3 at home. Now you can start with 2 at home and try to establish something. Do you guys feel that way? Like game one, this is where we need to be, this is what we deserved, and this is what we're going to take?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's a big part of playing at home is having that crowd behind you, and they motivate you. They get you want to play better. When you score a goal and they're screaming, or when you need a goal and they're on their feet and they're cheering you on. It's a special feeling that you get as a player, and I think being at home is huge, and being able to start and set the tone early, and hopefully you can go get that first win right away on Wednesday, and really show them, maybe put a little doubt in their head the way that kind of Texas did to us. So I think it's gonna be a good series, and definitely looking forward to Wednesday.
Both teams won 4 games against each other. You guys were 3-1 here, 1-2-1 on the road. Home ice, how big of a factor is it?
Huge. It's a huge factor. That's not an easy barn to go play in. I know here isn't an easy barn to come play in. So I think it's definitely a big factor, and I think that's definitely a big part of finishing first and having that advantage of hopefully more home games. Hopefully we don't need to get there, but at the same time it's definitely huge to have that home ice advantage. At the end of the day, it's your home fans, it's the people that have been watching you play all year and supporting you all year, and now the playoffs are coming around, they're stepping up their game as much as we are too. So it's definitely a fun feeling.